I think this is this one. So I hope you can see the presentation with the UN maps in it. Do not confirm by chat because as I'm broadcasting, I cannot see this anymore. So I need to switch to this. And you can see my screen. I can proceed. Maybe I will stop the video so that it's less bandwidth on your side. I don't know. So you can see this presentation. Okay, so I will go super fast with this. Okay, so I work, as I said, in the crowdsourcing team, of UN Maps. That is the initiative with this motto, mapping the world, supporting peace, serving humanity. And this is an initiative that started in late 2019 in the United Global Service Center. The UN Global Service Center is something that is directly under the UN Secretary, and it has two main headquarters. Historically, the first one in Brindisi, and also another center in Valencia. So both in Italy and Spain. And you can see the services that are provided by UNGAC, journey logistic, IT and geospatial technologies, and also some central services like training and conferences. Of course, what I do with the UN maps is related to GITT, the geospatial technologies. And you can see all the clients of UNGAC. But for UN maps, actually, I can go back. Our clients are a specific UN peacekeeping missions in Mali, DRC, Somalia, South Sudan, and Central African Republic, as well as the state of Abyei between Sudan and South Sudan. And what we do is providing geospatial services to the peacekeeping mission. That's services that are only available for UN staff. It's a bit like Google Maps for UN personnel, let's say. And especially we have a specific focus on providing topographic maps for the peacekeeping missions. In the past, with internal data, okay? But the idea was to also use external sources. But the challenge is for example, Google, you cannot retrieve the data, and there are a lack of topographic data, especially in rural areas in the countries in South, lack also of operational data. And also Google or OpenStreetMap do not provide authoritative city names or authoritative international boundaries. Okay, so the idea, the services that are provided, there is an in-house capacity. You have UN geospatial officers and mappers also that will process the data. And we also use the crowdsourcing resource, the people that are volunteers mapping on OpenStreetMap, that because OpenStreetMap is one of the main sources used by UN maps to provide the services. Okay, so we have all these contributors, UN Geospatial, UN staff from anywhere. But also we have the UN Mappers community, that is really people volunteering in the world. So, and we have a mix of both United Nations and OpenStreetMap data. Everything is processed in different databases. And at the end, all the services use these two main sources. And I would say OpenStreetMap is now represent 95% of the total of the data provided in those services. Okay. And the crowd-sensing part is there's some GIS professional that maps remotely or in the headquarters, UN personnel as well. We have some remote volunteers, and we have some more dedicated that are highlighted as mappers of the month. Sometimes some field contributors, and we also engage a lot with academics, providing training and and also a mapping activity like Mapatons. And I know that you plan at organizing very soon regular Mapatons within the Young Surveyors Network. Okay. Within the UN Maps crowdsourcing team, I'm particularly in charge in the education aspects. So I organize regular training, both in English, French, or Portuguese. And I have also a colleague that do that in Spanish. So we cover various languages. I've one training that is involving currently 30 people. I think some people from um, WSL may have been involved in former training we organized. Maybe we can confirm that. And all this is really aligned with the UN strategy regarding the Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, you can see there's a training that have been organized here. It was I think in Mali, and here we have some training that we received their final certificates at the end of the training. Okay, a few figures regarding the number of data or volunteers have been involved so far in our what we organize as educational activities. And just yeah, again, that's a bit the services we provide. Okay, so basically, so UNGIC since I say 2019 is involved in OpenStreetMap. They most of the product we do use the OSM data. As I said, unfortunately, maybe it will change, but the services may also, because there is some authoritative and sometimes sensitive data in it that are not available to everyone. But the data that is produced in OpenStreetMap is a benefit for everyone. And you remember the countries I mentioned, and you can see clearly what we do in this field. If I go, for example, in Central African Republic, all these squares you can see here that are highly detailed have been processed through UN Maps mapping. Because for the purpose of producing topographic maps, we map different topographic features, including the land cover. You can see most of the of the um, of the of the territory in Central African Republic is not fully detailed in its large majority. But for example, around Bosangoa, that is an area of interest that has been requested by the peacekeeping mission in Central African Republic. It has been fully mapped, both I would say by the crowd and also by our internal team. Okay, and you can see this very detailed data, and you can see that same over Somalia or Eastern DRC and Mali, especially, yes, in northern eastern part, or the one that are actually the more affected by conflicts. Okay. So why do we use OpenStreetMap for this? Why there is this big change from using only internal UN data to something that is based now 95% of an external database. Okay, so I will present now what is OpenStreetMap. To do so, I will use different medias. One of them is actually something I recommend you to go and to subscribe. But to subscribe, just creating an account, it's totally free to use. We have a website, mappers.un.org, where you can actually know better about different activities. I will just switch. Please just confirm that you can still, where is it? Hear me well. You can see me. You can see my screen. Huh? No issues. I'm screen sharing apparently, but it can be maybe frozen or on your side. I don't know. I hope not. So I hope you can see the UN Mappers website. If you can have someone that can chat and quickly every time. Yes. Okay. Great. So I can continue. So please, you can use this website where you will know better how to get involved as either as an individual or as a group that would like, for example, to be part of a future training. If you want the community, we have also something with careers. We post some position that can be internships or job positions. Okay. We have also, as I already mentioned, with the voice of community, we have this page about the mappers that engage a lot with us in the future, and that become from any age, any country, any gender, as you can see. And we have also from this you can go back to home. You can learn also how to start contributing. We have actually a learning hub, and this learning hub is a MOOC. It's based on the Moodle, and here you can learn OpenStreetMap. It's a place to learn OpenStreetMap. I connected my test account that is a basic, I would say, student account, and you have different guides, and generally one guide has also a quiz at the end to test your new knowledge about different topics in OpenStreetMap. The one I will use today to explain you what is OpenStreetMap is the first one, getting started with OSM. There is also 2 guides to explain how to use the 2 most used OSM editors, the browsers embed editor called ID, and the desktop, the most advanced one, that is JOSM. And there is also 3 other guides. One to understand the geographical context before mapping, how to know, here you can know how to handle for example, topography, how to handle different source of imageries we can use in OpenStreetMap. There is one other guide about how to use the tasking manager, so a tool that I will show you also, and also how to map topographic features in OpenStreetMap. That's the most detailed one, a lot of screenshot, videos, etc. Okay. It's an online platform, but you can actually also download its content as, for example, in English, as PDF for the text and the pictures. And as you cannot run a video or G file in a PDF, there's also zip file containing all these short videos or GIFs. Okay, and with that you can work at home, for example, totally offline with all the content of this of that. In the future, as it's announced in the intro there will be actually a certification quiz for you to really test your skills, your I mean theoretical knowledge about OpenStreetMap, and get automatically a certificate, a UN certificate, if you passed this online exam, I would say. Okay. So let's discover together what is OpenStreetMap. You had only a glimpse so far. Huh? I showed you the how it looks like on the web maps. Web map that looks like a bit like Google Maps. Okay. So getting started with OSM. So OpenStreetMap is a project that is almost 20 years old now. It was just, I'd say, a project student in 2004, a project from a UK student that would like to actually get data for its, I think it was his master. He went to the Ordnance Survey, that is the yes, the British institution for where you will have data about Great Britain, and he thought it would be easy and free. It was not. So he decided actually to create a project, an online project that he would be able to create the data himself, the data he would need. And actually, it's other people have been involved, and from something that was very small at the beginning, it became huge. Became huge because now the the OSM database contains almost 8 billion point objects that can be, I mean, relied as line or polygons or single nodes. Okay, and even if it's in its corporate size, it's 120 gigabytes as of now, let's say, and it's not compressed. I think it's 10 or 20 times bigger. So it's really a big and a large thing. Okay. It's really detailed. You can see, for example, I could use that also. If you compare, we have this here, OpenStreetMap. It's again Bosangoa that I showed you, and very detailed with the land cover. If you compare another map online, the here map, it's really less detailed. And Google, that we cannot actually see very well, because he would like, in the past it was possible to see it clearly, but now they impose to have an API authorization, etc. But you can see, for example, Bosangoa is not detailed at all. Okay, Bosangoa is one large town in Central African Republic. It's not really an area of interest for Google. And in OSM, you will I will show you later what we can see in OSM exactly. It's a very living. Where is my living project? Okay. Here, this what you can see here, this screenshot. I will open the service. You can see almost in real time, because it's only 2 or 3 minutes old, the contribution in OpenStreetMap. So anywhere in the world. Okay. So from everywhere in the world, people are contributing in OpenStreetMap every time. Okay, you can see that almost 1, 2, 3, all the 5 continents have been, except Australia, all the continents, people are mapping in OpenStreetMap. It can be either just one single information, but one single information can be important. It can be a pharmacy, it can be an amenity, an equipment. In this, or it can be more than that. Okay, you have 300. You have generally people also that can be a few thousands of edits from time to time. And you can see, I started the service 1 minute ago. 30 people have already contributed, and it represents more than 2,000 changes in OpenStreetMap, either creation, modification, or deletion in the database. So it's very vivid. You can see here the number of accounts that have been created in OpenStreetMap since the beginning. As I said, at the very beginning, it was very something that was very small, not many people involved. And after 2010, etc., it increased very quickly. And we are around 9 million accounts have been created. Obviously, of the people that created an account did not contribute, we have actually the contributor that have been contributing so far is almost 2 million out of the 9 that created an account. And how many active contributors we have per month, you can see since 2016, apparently, more or less, it's still the same. It's between 40,000 and 50,000 a month. Okay, so here we have 32 for 2 minutes. But if I would let run this during 1 month continuously, we would reach between 40,000 and 50,000 people contributing in OpenStreetMap. These people are sometimes gathering in large conferences, but the global one, but also they have small groups gathering for that. You can see they have GPS devices that supposedly to go in the field for data collection as this group, or the people can remain in a room and map with a computer using mostly satellite imagery, but also they could edit the data collected in the field. Okay, and also conferences, training, etc. is really part of the YSN community. Okay, you can see that depending on the country, the size of the committee is really different. The German are the most active, and if you want to know, for example, with this tool, the given date, other countries, Nigeria is not bad at all. Huh? It's close to the top 10. And for example, yesterday, there was 118 people that contributed in Nigeria. Apparently, it was mostly, as you can see, oh, sorry. I should have. It's mostly 92% organized editing. That means they are not volunteers, but mapping through a project or something like that. So I don't know if there is a large project currently in Nigeria with the people mapping and being paid, or actually being paid or volunteering, but mapping for a specific project in Nigeria. Apparently, it's the case. Okay, but that's anyway. That means that there is a lot of edits in Nigeria, and this enrich the map, and at the end the database is growing and being more detailed for the benefit of everyone. I will show you exactly what you can see on OpenStreetMap, and I will search a place you that will be more, I would talk more to your ears than Bosangoa in Central African Republic. I didn't find exactly where you were, but from uh, the letter of invitation I received, I know that you were in this specific neighbor in Lagos. Okay, please tell me if I'm wrong. And I think close to the Lagos State Secretariat. That is actually on both sides of this Obafemi Awolowo way. Okay, so this is what we can see on OpenStreetMap regarding this area where you are or where you close. So we have all the in this sleepy map. This is just a rendering. We have OpenStreetMap can be rendered a different way. That's the standard one. You have this one. There's many rendering actually. The one that are presented there are only a few, okay, of the total existent, but those one have been listed in the main OpenStreetMap.org website. So some other rendering have less detailed, for example, than the standard rendering, but they also include some, like you can see here, contour lines. And if I zoom out, there will be some hillshade also. We can see more clearly the topography that is not rendered in the standard one. Transport map. This one will actually emphasize the. I guess this in black is the railway going from starting from Lagos and going to the north. Okay, there is a humanitarian rendering as well. That is a bit like the standard, emphasizing a bit more features that are important for the humanitarian purposes. Okay, so back to I lost the. You can see we can search actually in OpenStreetMap anything that has a name. It can be a neighbor, there can be any place, any shop, anything that basically has a name in OpenStreetMap. You can search it in this search bar. Okay, and so if we zoom in, we can see different amenities, different also land use, different colors. We can see here that you have for only, I think, for the standard rendering, you have this legend. Okay, so you have all the colors for the different land use. And if I zoom into the maximum, I can see, for example, the Ikeja City Mall. There's a lot of shops inside the mall have been also mapped. So you can have a really detailed map. Okay. And once again, if you want to compare that, map compare, and again with allows out. It's not this time. It's not a remote town in the Central African Republic, but downtown in Lagos. So there's really more detail in Google Maps is more detailed than for both Goa. But you can compare and actually, for example, see if the people want to detail a lot the map, you can see the difference. And this map is editable and Google is not. And also all this data in OpenStreetMap, you can retrieve it as raw data and do whatever you want with it in, for example, in a GIS desktop software like QGIS or ArcGIS. Okay. What do we have behind that? Okay. The streets, shops, amenities, names, equipment, place of worships. this is just a rendering, but we can also check the data that is behind. First, we can ask to see the vector data, because it's basically vector data. It's either nodes, like this ice cream shop, okay? Or it can be line, that's this road. It's in OpenStreetMap, it's called a way, and the polygon are called actually a closed way, because it's just a way that is closed. The first and the last nodes share the same position. Okay, so we have, I would say classically, points, lines, and polygon in OpenStreetMap, and that's what the data is made. We have also they can be that's the geometry object. There's also a semantic object that's the called relations, and relations can involve different kind of objects together to make them because together they mean something. Like, for example, a bus transportation line, you can map that in OpenStreetMap. You will not redraw every piece of road or street that is involved in a bus transportation line, but you will select all of them and say within a relation, this is bus transport line 1, 2, 3, or 5, etc. This is an OSM relation. So if I click on this object, I have also the attributes that we call the tags, actually. The attributes in OpenStreetMap is something that is very, very flexible, because you can apply any tag you want on OpenStreetMap. Okay, it's not like in a classic GIS layer, where you have a table of attributes and all the object in the layer share exactly the same field in this attribute table. No, here you can apply any different tag to any object. So for example, this one I selected, it has a tag building yes. This means actually it's a building. It's not yes, it's is the most generic one. I think for a mode they could have precise that, but at least we know it's a building. 8, I think it should, yeah. Maybe it's number of supposedly it's the number of meters, and I'm not sure it's only 8 meters high. Maybe they made a confusion with the number of level. I don't know if it's this mall is very tall or not. It has 8 level. It's quite big. I don't know. And layer 1, okay, this a bit strange tags, I would say, but anyway. The ice cream, for example, if I click on it, yes, I need to do that first. So it's just an ice cream, and we have the name Cold Stone Creamery. Okay. As I can see, it's not about only having the attributes, but I know when has been mapped and by who. Okay. So this information is 4 years old. So maybe it would be refreshed. I don't know if everything, yes, you can see everything in this mall has been mapped the very same day by this contributor. Okay. And some of them can be more detailed. For example, for this specific one, the ShopRite, but I would say the supermarket, that's the main shop in the mall. We have also the opening hours. It's something that you can put on OpenStreetMap. Okay, and the main tag that make it a supermarket is the one with shop. That is the category. We call that a key in OpenStreetMap, and in the category is supermarket, and we call that value. A tag is a key and a value. Okay. The same for the roads. If I go for the roads, I can know all this information for every object. It's the same actually mapper, still 4 years ago. Okay, Governor's Road. It's a one-way street. Okay, this time it's not version 1. ShopRite, it was only made. No, it was version 2 for this one, but the ice cream, it was version 1. This one is this object is this 4th version. Okay, made by this specific contributor, but there is also we can check the ruler history of this object. Version 3 was made by someone else, etc. And you can see the difference that it passed from tertiary one-way yes to unclassified. So the change, I mean the category change a bit. Oh yes, unclassified, tertiary again, and this time last version here the name has been put. Okay. If you were, for example, if we'd be interested to contact this mapper because you may find that you made a good job 4 years ago and you would like, I don't know, for example, involve this person for to make an update of the map, it's easy to click on his name, his or her name, I don't know. It's a mapper since 2009, so it's an old mapper, has 200, almost 300 chain set that, I mean, the thing has been edited, but I mean, the last was 2 years ago, so it's has been active, but it's not not active anymore. And I don't know the name of this person because it's not his full name, it's just a username, but I can send a message to him. For this, I would need to connect with my account, and I can send an email, this message. This person would receive an email with my message, and he could answer, etc. Okay, so there's really a way to interact with the mappers. If I want to edit this map, it's pretty easy. Okay. So now that I'm connected, I will just untick map data because it takes a bit of resources. You cannot zoom out without having some slowness. And back to the standard. I will just refresh my the page because now I'm connected. Okay. When I'm connected, I can edit the map. I can edit it with the in-browser editor if I want. Okay. Or the one that is an external software. And that's what there is this remote control for the website to send an area of a B box, I would say a boundary box to be open in the external editor. I'll show you just very briefly how it works with the in-browser editor. That is nice looking, but a bit limited. It's mostly for it's for beginners generally, and but there are also experienced mappers that prefer using it. It's clearly more limited. It's clearly slower when you want to do any kind of mapping. But if you start, you have this walkthrough. This is interesting to know if you. Of course, we have in our in our learning hub, you can learn how to map with OpenStreetMap. But for the people that do not know it and just discovering by the website, it's interesting because you have this walkthrough. If I want to edit now, you can see I have immediately an access to a detailed imagery in the background. Okay, I can check. It's actually Bing IO Maps. You can see we have different providers. We have generally imagery that is 4 or 5 years old. and sometimes a bit older. It can be interesting to have older imagery to compare also how the things have changed in the past. And unfortunately, we don't know exactly the date of the imagery. This information is not provided by the by the imagery providers. So if I will check what is the most recent one. Maybe it's Bing now. It's between Maxa and Bing generally, and it's the same. Actually, yes. Bing was the most was the oldest one, and 10 years old up to 2 months ago, I would say. They apparently they made a huge update of their imagery, and they have exactly the same that Maxa. That is supposedly 4 or 5 years old at the maximum. Okay, so that is the same. This is 50 pixel resolution imagery. Okay, this is not the top notch you can find if you buy, for example, from Maxa or from Playad. The imagery you can have the best resolution that could be, I think, for yes, for the general public, it's 30 centimeters pixel as of now. So, but it's you can see clearly a difference between this is a truck. You can see well the cars, etc. But you, yeah, for sure you cannot recognize the type of the car. Okay. If you already process some, for example, UAV imagery that is a few centimeters resolution, that's a huge difference. But this allows us to, nonetheless, to map a lot of things in OpenStreetMap, or the streets, or the buildings, etc. A lot of equipments also we can recognize. Okay, but for if you want to map, for example, street lamps, may be difficult with that. That's the resolution. There's also the georeferencing. And for this, we are not, I mean, 50 centimeters precise, okay, accurate. So units generally, because the OSM data has been processed in the past from older imageries that have been replaced by new ones, and that georeferencing is a bit different, and you have an offset between these two imageries. So either you move everything every time, or actually you offset the new imagery, and that's generally what is done. So when you use only satellite imagery, that's how you do. I will show you how you can also involve more precise sources like RTK data that have been collected in the field. Okay, because you're surveyors. So you have here, for example, where is it? Yes, it's the imagery. It's at the end, very then it's not very obvious. The imagery offset. This is the value of the offset in meters. Okay, so basically, I will move the map. No, it's here. It's here. Yes, and I would like to send to put, for example, this parking parking lanes that well in the middle. So I think it's better like this or like that. Okay, and you can see there is the oops. I cannot do that here. Yes, you cannot select. You move everything. I'm not very used to ID. So yes, we have in X like 6 meters and in Y almost 4. So this is generally there's this kind of offset between 1, 5, 6 meters we have to use. to offset this. So this is the accuracy you can have from OpenStreetMap. I would say once the offset is down, you can map, and everything about the rest, all the data, I mean, sorry, will be consolidated and supposedly one to another. So you can see everything now is supposedly well aligned. Okay, but with this percentage, it's inaccuracy of a few meters. Okay, that's when you have only satellite imagery, this satellite imagery as source to map. And I will show you how to you can improve that. So let's do the classic mapping based on that. Also, I can see there are missing buildings. Okay. You can see also there's, but you know that the buildings, because the imagery they are taken with what we call the nadir, the center of the satellite lens, pointing the Earth. It's called the nadir here. The nadir is, I would say, more in the northeast, and this is why you can see for this very big and high and tall mosque. I will just with the map data, just show only the imagery. Just hi, I just hit the OpenStreetMap data. We can see here the faces of the building. It's really common in imagery. So we have here the northern and eastern faces. And this is why actually, and the OSM data has been actually mapped. Let me select the two of them. Have been mapped on top of the roof, but then have been offset to be at the ground level. You need to map at the ground level. So do not think here it's totally it's not true, because it's not on top of the roof. No, because it has to be on the ground. But for example, these buildings do not are not present in OpenStreetMap. I can easily add them. I will click here on area. I will map 1, 2, 3. Can get closer. 4 seems to have something like this. 5. It's just a hands drawing, so I will improve the accuracy by squaring it. Okay, it's just a geometry so far. It's just an empty geometry. I need to put attributes, tags on it. So it's just an area. So you can see the editor is telling me with a warning, this is no descriptive tag. So I will choose all the possibilities. It's a building features, and it's a, I don't know, it's a building. Okay, I don't know, it's levels, height, address. Okay, so the only tag I will put, it's just a generic building, and the building equal yes tag that we already saw together. I could do like this also, 1, 2, 3, 4, squaring it again, building up, and that's it. So far, this mapping, these two buildings, is only in the editor. It's not yet on the OSM database. I need to upload my edits for them to be included in the OSM database. With this button, I save it. I need to make a brief change set comment to inform. That's the information that we would go that we will see afterwards. So we are in Nigeria, Lagos, and I would say for the phone, adding buildings. That's enough. Oops. Buildings. Okay. The only changes I made is the creation of two buildings. I did not change anything. I did not modify an existing object or delete an existing object. Okay, I will upload that. Okay, it's done. Okay, I can see the changes. I have a chain set like the one I showed you before. Okay, closed less than 1 minute ago by me. This is the tag of the chain set. He knows what editor I used. Okay, the imagery have been used automatically. It has been filled by the editor, and this is the object I created. You can see we cannot see them, my two buildings, because the rendering is not updated automatically. It will require a few minutes, but the data is already there. If I go and I click on map data, the vector data is there. Okay, and if I zoom in, zoom out, maybe sometimes no. So in a few minutes, I will see my two buildings in the rendering, the standard one. The other ones, it takes more than a few minutes for them. Sometimes they are, rendered once a day, once a week. But the data is already in OpenStreetMap. So if you want to download, this neighborhood, you will have my also my new buildings. Okay, and that's makes OSM so powerful. So I will show you that actually you can also process not only map, not only relying on the satellite imagery. These totally free for use and for OpenStreetMap. And actually, they are only available for OpenStreetMap. Being Maxa, etc., they're only available if you map in OpenStreetMap. That's a really statement in their license. You cannot use them to produce your own data directly, for example, in a shapefile in QGIS. That is forbidden by the license. So, and it's better if you do that actually in OpenStreetMap, so that everyone can take the opportunity to access your data. You can also use, for example, GPS data. And actually, at the beginning, it was in these first years, it was the only way to use to map in OpenStreetMap, because the first imagery available for the crowd, for the OSM contributors, was Yahoo imagery that does not exist anymore. It was in 2008. So for the first 4 years in OpenStreetMap, everything was made with GPS tracks, generally with GPS devices like Garmin ones. So for this, I will use show you that. Even if actually you can, in the editor, the ID editor, you can add a GPX layer. It's really more powerful in JOSM. So JOSM is this software. Okay, it's Java based, so it means it can be the same software can be installed in Windows, Linux, and iOS. And if I want to edit with remote control, you can see the VBox, download the data directly in the software. Okay, and from there I can add the Bing IO imagery, for example, and I can, if I want, again, was where I did that, I can the same thing here, fix the offset. It's really actually quicker in precise, maybe also in JOSM than in ID. Okay. What is interesting is also you can not only download OSM data, but also GPS data. if I click on this button is to retrieve data. You can also download raw GPS data that would have been uploaded by OSM contributors. I showed you on the website that you can edit the map, but you can also actually add GPS traces. And here you can see all the GPS traces that are currently uploaded by people all over the world. This one is still pending, but it's uploading, okay? And you have, any minutes, you have a different GPS tracks that are uploaded. Sometimes there's 6,000 points, only 85, etc. Sometimes you can see this something that has been processed through a car, many, a lot of Toyota cars, Hyundai, etc. We don't know exactly. I would need, for example, if, this one to know where it is exactly. This one is in Taiwan. Okay. And sometimes you have all the information of GPS. It's identifiable, etc. Okay. So I will do the same for this specific area in Lagos to see if we have GPS tracks. And actually, I know there is some because I tested it. So I will download that, only the raw GPS data. Okay, and here it is. So it's, yes, it's in pink. You cannot see very well. Let me show you. Okay, or can change the color. Something that it would be, I don't know, red. Okay. Or with the imagery, yellow generally better option. Okay. So for example, this is not much, I would say. It's done by car, visibly. And I can know about what is the info about this layer. Okay, that's the length, the time span, and also it has been made by the some people, some user. Okay, Hopkins SK. And for example, this one shows me that, and clearly that's, I'm not totally wrong in that. The thing is, it's not very accurate GPS tracks. It's only, there's a tool if to know exactly, okay, here it's, you can see 5 p.m. 35 and 18 seconds. It's 22 seconds and it's 27. So it's a one. There's a recording every 4 or 5 seconds. Seems something like this. 18, 9. Okay. 5. Yeah. Generally, if you want to record, I would say, interesting GPS track when you're traveling by car. Okay. When you're driving, it's really better to have the recording every second, so that you have these shapes, but you have something that would be smoother. Okay, and obviously these are not very precise GPS tracks. It's not RTK something, and this one is clearly yes. Is not very precise because it's not just being offset, but sometimes it's really in the in the in the in the grass, on the grass here, or almost at the basement of the building. This one is particular. This one is good in the south. This one not. But if you want, you can input precise RTK data that you would have as surveyors to have this reference in to use in OSM. Or for any reason, if you don't want to share that, you can also add that as a file from your computer, and you would have some layer like this one. Is not mandatory that is only downloaded from the OSM database of GPS traces, but you can also use your own personal local data. Okay, I have some air ticket data that I used a few months ago. It was in Ivory Coast with an Emily device to air ticket bases, the stable one and one rover, and and just to have a few centimeters of accuracy. So you can really improve the basics of the OSM data. That is, I would say, based on the not top-notch accuracy of the satellite imagery that is provided. So you can really improve that if you have fancy, precise LTK devices. No problem. Okay. I don't know if it's already also for you. It should be 2 p.m. and 26 minutes. Do you want to have just some questions? So do you want me just to show you, I don't know, a short process of using the tasking manager when you want to participate in a map pattern? Just tell me as you wish. Go back to the. We have questions. Okay, so please. So either audio or you can type them on the chat. And we'll be very pleased to answer your questions. In the meantime, if you're interested to retrieve all the OSM data in your country, for example, you have this website from GeoFabric. If you go to in Africa, you have Nigeria here. So this is the whole OSM data compressed, but I mean, this is the main source to, after that, import that in, for example, a Postgre database. If you know this, how to use Postgre, it would be really more powerful to do that. Otherwise, you can get some shape files, okay, of thematic shape files. I have already one from Nigeria. Okay, so I'm going back to the questions. What step could the global OSM community take to support OSM in Nigeria? I mean, for the support itself, I don't know what kind of support you mean actually. The global OSM community, there is you would discover that if you process the chapter about getting starting with OSM, about all the, I don't have the time to present that, all the OSM ecosystem that are involved from the individual to different academics, governmental, NGOs, UN, World Bank, etc., the private sector, but there's also an OpenStreetMap Foundation. There is no, I would say, for example, money directly done to the communities by the foundations. There is some community that are supported by a bit by grants. Currently, for example, by the Open Humanitarian OpenStreetMap team. But also, I mean, the OSM community provides a lot of tools, a lot of services that you can use. The one I just mentioned, GeoFabric, to retrieve the data. There is also BB Bike that also you can get some extract data from OSM. Okay, so there's a lot of services you can use to retrieve the data. If you want to make a web map, you have UMap, for example, for this. This service, I just show you not briefly, but just opening them. They are listed here also in the OSM services. Okay. There's also the Youth Mappers network, the network of different academic institution involved in teaching OSM within the students, and also there's some people that would be more involved, and they will be invited in conferences and things like that. Can we get access to OSM with a better positional accuracy, better than one? This is very precise, 1.57 meters. I mean, if you want to have a better position accuracy, you need to create it. So as I say, the process would be that on your areas of interest, you will see what you have currently in OpenStreetMap, and you will use, for example, the data that you collected from the field with these very accurate positions, and you will modify the existing one and adding new information based on this accuracy. But I'd say the pattern, the default accuracy you can get is generally the one from the satellite imageries, and it's a few meters precise, accurate, based on the georeferencing of these imageries. Okay, but this can be improved if you use I mean RTK, for example, RTK tracing. Keep in mind, OpenStreetMap is the data you create, you and others. Okay, there is no specific institution that is caring about the accuracy of it. It's everyone is involved. Individuals, companies, if there are a lot of companies that base their business model only on OpenStreetMap, even for logistics or things like that. How accurate is top OSM photographing mapping purposes? This is a good question, actually, because I told you we produce a topographic map for the peacekeeping missions. There are 50K topographic maps. And of course, for this, the accuracy of 1.5 meters is totally enough for 50K purposes. For example, in these 50K maps, we do not even map the buildings, only the places, the land cover, the road network, the hydrography, and things like barriers, if they are important in the landscape, and they have obviously logistic stakes if you want to travel through a landscape of enclosed fields. And also another question, I mentioned the RTK point I used. It was in this year in Bouaké, the second city in Ivory Coast. The idea was to get a network of highly accurate location that can be fully distinct, fully seen from the satellite imagery, and to help to get a very accurate offset, and to every time you map in area. It's not yet done, but the idea is to have a network of a very accurate GPS location. The we use that. We push the we placed the MLEAD base on top of accurate topographic landmarks, but that unfortunately not visible from the sky, and then creating a new accurate ATK location visible from the sky using the rover. And the YSN data is a very important database, not only for UNGAC, but I would say all the humanitarian, all the development world use massively OpenStreetMap now. Okay, the World Bank, for example, they have TDR where the data is only OSM based, for example. And if you go to the humdata.org, this is oops, the platform from UN OCHA. So it was humdata.org. I don't want the data set. Yes. That's the platform where UN OCHA call all the data sets have been shared by any institution. I go in Nigeria, and you have the geodata. Okay, so you have, of course, on health side, things that have been made by, you have the, generally the, no, here they do not put the author, apparently, but of course, I will have OpenStreetMap somewhere. Yeah. Now, in every country, they also list that's the OpenStreetMap data. Actually, this is the road network by the World Food Program, and they use massively OpenStreetMap, and also yes, VFP, but they're also pure OSM data generally. So it's hot OSM maybe, or maybe it's there because there is a second page. Yes, many. No, second page. Yes, hot OSM. So the humanitarian OpenStreetMap team. This is an extract for Nigeria, all Nigeria, all the buildings, an OpenStreetMap. So OpenStreetMap data is really part of the core geodata of any country now. Do you have any other questions? Okay. So great. So OpenStreetMap is also a land of opportunities for students and individuals. Okay. So recently there was, for example, one student for the University of Lagos was Unilag. It was already a very committed mapper, a lady from Unilag, and she got a position as a data quality validator for in the humanitarian OpenStreetMap team. Thank you very much for listening to me. I hope it was clear that the sound was good. So I would like to have the recording just to to get an idea of what you may have got. Yeah, but you can contact us. Huh? You have the website, huh? mappers.un.org, and keep connected. There's also a lot of Telegram group, for example. There is an OSM Africa Telegram group you can join. It's free to everyone, so you may know better about OpenStreetMap, and go on this on our Learning Hub. And for example, all the OSM channels, they are listed there. Okay, they are channeled. They also um, a weekly so no, this was not this one. Newsletter, weekly OSM, so you can know really what is going on in OpenStreetMap. Okay, so keep posted, connected, and I hope we can see each other in a close future. So I wish you good luck for the rest of the conference, and thank you again for inviting me for this keynote. Bye.